What's up everyone, China Cycling here. Now you guys know me, I'm a tech nerd, a camera nerd, I love testing out the latest camera tech. So when Insta360's sister company, Antigravity, offered me a chance to test out their new 360 drone, the A1, I jumped at the chance. As you guys saw from the quick intro there, this drone can get some seriously epic footage. In this video, I'm going to give you guys a quick run through the drone, show you some of the shots I got with it, tell you the pros, tell you the cons, and then summarize by saying who I think this drone is for. Now, regular viewers will know I've been working with Insta360 for years and I was a paying customer long before they started sponsoring the channel. But full disclosure, Insta360 are a long-term partner of the channel, so thanks to them and Antigravity for sending out the drone and their continued support. I'll try to keep the video as fact-based and unbiased as possible, but just bear that in mind. So what is the Antigravity A1? Well, there are three main components. There's the drone, the controller, and the headset. If you're watching this video, there's a good chance you've flown a drone before, but you've never flown a drone like this. The unique thing about the A1 is that the flying experience. Basically, you're controlling the flight of the drone with the controller and it goes where you point. But at the same time and independently, you can look around, all around in 360 degrees, and it's the most immersive experience there is. It's the closest thing to flying as a human being you can get with your feet still on the ground. I'd say one of my favorite things to do with this drone is literally just flying around and not even recording videos. You get some super chill, like Zen vibes, and can really take in an environment or an old place you often go to in new angles and in new ways. Of course, when it comes to recording, the ability to look around as you're flying really helps with spatial awareness. When you're trying to get a shot of a cyclist and you're flying by their side, it really helps to be able to take a quick glance over your shoulder to check for traffic or see how long it is until a turn comes up and things like that. Of course, with it being a 360 camera, it doesn't actually matter where you're looking when you're recording, because after the fact, you can reframe. The drone is constantly recording in 360 degrees and 8K, and then after the fact, in the software, on the phone or on the computer, you can change the angle, put in keyframes in there so it spins around, looks around in all different directions, all that stuff. And of course, because it's 360 degrees, the footage is always super smooth and super stable. But now one of the main drawbacks of the drone when it comes to cyclists is that you need to operate this drone with the goggles, which means you can't film yourself riding. All the footage you see in this video of James riding along, I was somewhere within the vicinity, hiding under a tree or somewhere just standing in my full cycling kit with the goggles on and hoping no one comes up to me while I'm recording. So if you don't have any friends, this is not the drone for you. Also, be sure to check the drone rules where you are. Many countries dictate that you must maintain line of sight with the drone at all times, and putting on the FPV goggles takes away line of sight. This means that in some places you need a second spotter to physically watch the drone as you fly. So this is not your spur of the moment, quickly grab a shot kind of thing. You need a plan and bring the right people and right equipment with you. But speaking of the regulations, the A1 has one amazing feature, and that's its weight. At just 249 grams, it slides under the 250 gram limit that many countries place on drones for flying zones. I think at the moment, the only other 360 drone on the market is the DJI Avata 360, and that weighs over 400 grams, which, depending on where you live, will change where and where you can't fly, what kind of license you need, and all that stuff. So yeah, check your local laws and regulations before buying any drone. Speaking of flying, that's one thing that Antigravity really nailed, just the flying experience. Now, I've been flying drones for the best part of a decade, including FPV drones, and while I'm not the best drone pilot in the world, I do like manual controls. So when I saw the A1 only has this simple controller, I was originally skeptical. However, as soon as you start flying with it, it totally makes sense. Flying is super intuitive, and I was able to get my son, who's never flown any drone before, up and flying within minutes. He was confident enough to be bombing down ravines and all sorts within minutes, and I was able to monitor on the outside of the goggles because they have the screen set up on the outside so you can see what the drone can see when the person's flying it. So yeah, super cool for this kind of sharing with other experience. So how exactly do you fly the drone? Well, in the goggles, you have your heads-up display and you can see the direction of the pointer of the controller. You literally just point at where you want to fly and pull the trigger. It's that simple. The harder you pull, the faster it goes. Super easy. You can point anywhere regardless of where you're looking and the drone will fly in that direction. There's also a slider on the controller, which you can use to control the altitude up and down if you don't want to be pointing up and down all the time. So yeah, they did think of everything. I will say the option of a more advanced controller would be good. You never feel limited by the current controller, but it would be nice to have more options. Like, all the buttons are laid out intuitively and the flight experience feels precise enough to fly through gaps and skim past objects and all that stuff. And as we're talking about skimming past objects, the props on the A1 are exposed, so you probably don't want to get too close to your friend who's riding their bike. Safety first, kids. But if you don't trust your flying skills, there are some prop cards available for the drone, which will like offer some extra protection. You don't always have to fly manually either. There is a follow mode in the drone, so when I pull up next to James, I can use the controller to draw a box around James, and then the drone will automatically follow him. I can set the follow height and whether to follow from in front or from the side or from behind, and of course the drone is just flying itself. As it's flying itself, I'm free to look in any direction I want, make sure the composition is right, make sure there are no cars coming, anything like that. Because the drone is always facing the direction it's traveling, it means the obstacle avoidance sensors here are always facing the direction that any hazard would come from. In all my weeks of flying the things, I've not crashed into anything, and the obstacle avoidance has saved me from yeeting into trees a few times at this point. So the follow mode isn't 100% bulletproof, but it's like 95% there, so yeah, you just have to use your brain. Other stats, I think camera-wise, it's essentially a flying Insta360 X5, so there's 8K resolution and the picture quality is great. As with all the 360 cameras, the more you zoom in, the more resolution you lose, so like wider field of view shots definitely look better than zoomed in cropped shots. Flying stats, the standard batteries give like 24 mins of flight time, but I've been using extended batteries which give you 39 minutes of flight time. In my testing, it definitely lived up to those numbers. With the 3 batteries in the Infinity bundle, you essentially get like 2 hours of flight time, which is more enough to get the shots you need for a YouTube video. Other flying stats wise, speed wise in follow mode, I guess it can do like 35, 40 k's an hour. It depends on the wind and stuff, but that was the results I was getting in testing. So if you're really nailing a descent, it may not be able to keep up with you, but for most of you riding on the flat, it should be fast enough. Yeah, not the fastest drone out there, but not the slowest either. So pros and cons of the A1. The pros are definitely the unique shots you can get with this thing. If you head on over to Antigravity's Instagram, you'll be able to see some of the insane stuff people are getting there. Learning how to really edit the 360 footage is key, and there are people out there with much better skills than me at editing 360 footage. So yeah, go check out their Instagram for sure. The second positive of this is just the amazing, unique flying experience. It's truly like nothing else. Like flying through the sky and looking down and just seeing nothing down there is an epic experience. And thanks to the simple controls, it's an experience I can share with my kids. You know, as I said, for my son, he can fly the drone himself. And then for my 6-year-old daughter, I can pre-fly a route using their Sky Genie function, and I can give the headset to my daughter and the drone will fly the same route again, and my daughter is free just to look around and take it all in. So it's a super cool thing to share with friends or share with family and just have an experience that brings people together. The negatives, I guess the biggest negative is that you're just unable to film yourself. You know, a normal like 2D drone like the Hover X1 I've reviewed before, you know, you don't need any controller, it just takes off from your hand and follows you. Of course, a drone like that limits the kind of shots you can get. You know, you can't get 360 shots, but at least you can shoot yourself. So the Antigravity A1 is more about filming other people and not about filming yourself. The second negative, if I'm really nitpicking, are the stitch lines. So because the two lenses are physically further away from each other than they are on like an Insta360 X5, it means that the stitch line is a bit more obvious. Now, when you're looking at scenery or just flying around normally, you don't notice it. The app does a very good job of like removing the stitch line. But if you're flying closer to something, like flying closer to a cyclist and you're at the same level as them, you will see stitch lines moving up and down on the cyclist's body sometimes. Like sometimes their neck kind of disappears and their head just falls onto their body. Like it is a pretty minor thing, and in my opinion, it doesn't like ruin the footage, but it is something to be aware of. So should you get one? Or who do I think the A1 is for? If you love being at the cutting edge of tech and being an early adopter, I think this could be for you. The whole bundle is not cheap. You know, over 1,000 US dollars. So this is a serious investment, but like with any early tech, you've got to pay to play. Now, secondly, I think the A1 only makes sense if you're going to use it for things outside of cycling too. You know, carrying the drone on every single ride and finding somewhere to stand and telling your riding buddies to keep riding laps while you film them isn't for everyone. But if you want to do that sometimes and then, you know, take it with you on holiday or go explore the valleys below the hiking trails that you usually take, like things like that, then I think the A1 starts to make sense and its price can be justified if you're using it for more and more things. You know, there are places that I've been to dozens and dozens of times before, and now I go to these places and it's like a whole new experience just because I can fly to those places I couldn't fly to before using the drone and take it all in. So yeah, it does make old places interesting again. So if you've got the money and you want an experience as close to flying as you can get while keeping your 2 feet on the floor, I think the A1 is worth a look. As I said, it is expensive, but right now Antigravity are actually having their spring sale. There's up to 20% off the drone and accessories if you use my link in the description below. It is an affiliate link, so using the link does support the channel, but at no extra cost for you. So yeah, check out that link. But, you know, what do you guys think? Are we living in the future, or does this tech need a few more years for the price to come down and the accessibility to get even better? You guys let me know in the comments down below. All of the links are in the description, and thanks again to Insta360 and Antigravity for supporting the channel. As always, China Cycling out.